What up, guys? It's your boy Dadum, and today we're gonna be filming my Shaddoll deck profile. Recently, the Big Five decided to have a tournament, so we decided that the winner of said tournament would make a deck profile based on the deck. So I went 4-0 in all my matchups. Garce used Cyber Dragon, Anthony used Gadgets, Steven used a True King Dino combo, and Jonah used Lightsworn. So yeah, so here's the deck that I used. If you guys have any suggestions or ways I can update it, go ahead and let me know. Mainly all the cards in this deck are strictly just from the structure deck itself, with the extra deck having a couple extra cards in it. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the main card of the deck is Red Shaddoll Windy. Her flip effect lets you special summon one Shaddoll monster from your deck in face up or face down defense position. And then her second effect lets you special summon Shaddoll monster in face down defense position. Again, she's the main card. She's the one that you use a lot to get extra monster on the field or to extend some of your other plays. So the next card we have is Shaddoll Squamata. His flip effect is to target one card or one monster on the field and destroy it, while his second effect is to send one Shaddoll card from your deck to your graveyard. Again, another great thing for extending. You can go ahead, send a Falco to get an extra monster on the field. You can send a Beast to draw an extra card. Whole point of this deck is to try to get stuff into the graveyard to activate their secondary effects. Most of the time you won't really be able to activate their flip effects, so that's the primary goal. Next we run 3 Shaddoll Falco. His flip effect is to target one Shaddoll monster in your graveyard, special summon it, while his second effect is to special summon himself in face on defense position. He is definitely one of the cards I really recommend running at 3. A lot of versatility to him, and the fact that there's multiple ways to special summon him is great. Now for the rest of the Shaddoll cards, we'll be running them at 2. So next is Shaddoll Dragon. His flip effect is to target one card your opponent controls, return to the hand, while his second effect is to target one spell or trap on the field and destroy it. Next we play 2 Shaddoll Beast. His flip effect is to draw 2 cards, discard 1, and then his send to the graveyard effect is to draw 1 card. I mainly find myself sending him to the graveyard with some of my other card effects just so I can get that extra resource and draw another card. Now we play 2 Shaddoll Hedgehog. His flip effect is to add 1 Shaddoll spell or trap, aka a fusion card, from your deck to your hand, while his second effect is to add 1 Shaddoll monster from your deck to your hand. This is great for when you have a specific combo in mind and you need to get those specific cards. Next I run 1 Quarrel Chaos. He lets you special summon a card from his hand with his flip effect, and his second effect lets you gain attack and defense equal to whichever card you discard from your hand. This is really good to get over specific cards in the field that you wouldn't be able to get over otherwise, and then his first effect really just gives you material for link monsters. Next I run 2 Electromagnetic Turtles. His effect is to end your opponent's battle phase, even though it's only once per duel. I run 2 of him just so it's a little more consistent in drawing him, and just so I'm not waiting around for the one I have in my deck. Next I run 1 Mathematician. When he's normal summoned, you get to send 1 level 4 or lower monster from your deck to your graveyard, while his second effect, if he's destroyed by battle, you get to draw 1 card. Just great to get you to start off on some of your Shaddoll plays. Next I run 2 BLS. Honestly, this is just a really good card to have. You end up putting a lot of light and dark monsters into the graveyard, so just being able to use them for another purpose is great to have. So next I run 2 Lava Golem. You get to tribute 2 monsters on your opponent's side of the field to special summon him on their side. Just a great card to get rid of some of the more problematic cards your opponents may have. And then I like doing a combo where I just attack him with Construct, the Construct blows him up, and they're down, 3 extra monsters. Next we play triple Shaddoll Fusion. Regular fusion card for Shaddolls, and then if your opponent controls an extra deck monster, you can use cards from your deck to special summon one of yours. After that, we play 3 L Shaddoll Fusions. Just being able to use cards from your hand or field as fusion material to special summon a Shaddoll monster. And then of course we run the triple Polymerization. After you discard 1 card, you get a special summon fusion monster with cards on either side of the field. And just a reminder to anyone new to the deck, if you do discard a card, it's not activating your Shaddolls monster's second effect. You're attributing the card as a cost to activate Super Poly. Next we play 1 Instant Fusion to special summon 1 level 5 or lower monster from your extra deck, aka your Winda. And then we play 1 Foolish Burial to send a monster from our deck to the graveyard. 1 Pot of Avarice to target 5 of our monsters and then draw 2 cards. 1 Twin Twisters just in case if you have a deck that has some back row, and then 1 Allure Darkness if we need just to draw some extra cards. Then for Lost Wind, you get to negate the effects of a special summon monster as well as have its attack. And then if your opponent special summons a monster while Lost Wind's in the graveyard, you can return it to your field. 1 Shaddoll Core, just in case if you need a specific attribute, as well as his other effect, which lets you bring back a Shaddoll spell or trap card. And then we play 1 Shaddoll Incarnation, which lets you special summon 1 Shaddoll monster in face up or face down defense position, and then his second effect, by banishing Shaddoll card, you get to change the position of a Shaddoll monster on your side of the field. And next we have your main fusion card, which is El Shaddoll Winda. This card pretty much lets your opponent only special summon once per turn, while it itself cannot be destroyed by other opponent's card effects. This is pretty much the main card you're trying to go for to block their attempts to special summon. Again, if there's a chance that they can get over it in their battle phase, then in the turn 2 expect them to do their main combo, whatever that is. But at least it gives you some time to block them, and hopefully they get a bad hand so they really can't continue on with those big combo plays. Next, we end up running 2 Shaddoll Construct. I know some people played at 3, I played at 2. But when it's special summon, you can send 1 Shaddoll card from your deck to your graveyard, and then of course his battle effect, if he battles a special summon monster during the beginning of the damage step, destroy the special summon monster. Again, that can take place during either's opponent's turn, doesn't matter as long as this card is doing battle. Again, as long as their card isn't affected by card effects, you pretty much have a good defense wall on the field. Alright guys, and then here for our one-off Shaddoll fusions, we have 1 Shikahiga, which lets you negate the effect of a special summon monster. Shaddoll Greister, which lets you negate a special summon of a monster. Al Capone, which lets you negate a face-up monster's effects. We have 1 Wendigo, quick effect, you can target a monster this turn, it can't be destroyed by battle. That's actually pretty great. And last we have 1 Annoy. This card it doesn't let either player special summon monsters from the hand or graveyard using spell or trap effects. Pretty much means that the only way to get them out is going to be with either like a monster's effect, so like Construct for instance. But honestly, for all these one-offs, I would say maybe except for Wendigo, you can pretty much switch them out for other cards that you think may be more effective, or if you want to make a 3 copy of like Winda or Construct. Next we play 2 Shaddoll Construct. Honestly, you really only have to play 1, and that's mainly just for backup. If you're running Annoy, I would suggest 2, but if you're not, just keep it at 1. Next we play 1 Cross Sheet, obviously to use its fusion effect. Next we play 1 Verite Anaconda. When it's summoned, you get to pick an opponent's monster on the field, make it a dark type monster, and then you can pay 2,000 and send either a spell or quick play spell, fusion or polymerization card to your graveyard so that Anaconda can use its effect. It doesn't become the card, it just uses their effects. So for instance, for Super Poly, you don't need to discard a card, you can just go ahead and use monsters from either side of the field to fusion summon one of yours. And for my last 2 extra deck monsters, I play 1 Nightmare Phoenix, and then as our sort of link monster, I play 1 Borosaur Dragon. Again, you can really change these 2 out for whatever you guys prefer to play. And for our extra deck, I have 1 Chaos in here. I would probably take him out and pick another card that would probably be more versatile in different matchups. But yeah, for some of our other extra deck monsters, of course, always have to run 2 or 3 Ash Blossoms depending on how you personally play them. And I decided to play 2 DD Grow. This was really just to stop my opponent from, bringing back certain cards back from their graveyards and just putting them to the banish zone. Next I played 1 Sphere of Ra. I know it's better Kaijus to play it, but I just like playing that one. I played 1 Dino Wrestle Pankratops. I just needed a monster that can sort of get over other cards without me needing to use a lot of resources. I run 1 Phantasme. If my opponent activates a card or effect that targets monsters, I get to discard 1 card, negate it, and destroy it. Next, you play 1. I play 1 Vanity's Ruler. It's really just like a souped up Winda where your opponent cannot special summon monsters at all. With this deck, using some of the special summon effects from your Shaddolls monsters, you can definitely get this card on. And once you do, just protect it at all costs, and then there's no way for your opponent to get around it. And next, we play 2 Call by the Grave. And to wrap up our spell cards, I played 1 Dark Ruler No More and 1 Dark Hole. and I decided to play one anti-spell fragrance just to sort of block my opponent, and then one Mirror Force Puke the Japanese. I had that from like when I was a kid. Alright guys, just some things to remember. Definitely, the way I play this deck is definitely more of a haymaker. You know, I try to set up a play to sort of counter what my opponent might do, and then I try to, you know, land a good hit on him and delay him, or do the most I can in a turn. There's ways for you to get a lot of combos off, but it's not nothing like these, you know, these tier 0 decks or tier 1 decks where they just, you know, you use 2 resources and you have a full field of monsters. That's not really what this deck does, but you know, you're able to use a couple things to get some more out on the field. Definitely just remember, you know, Winda's your main card. Do your best to try to protect them, or figure out combos in your hand to get another one out, or something else out to counter what your opponent's using. You know, I just realized that with this deck, nothing, you know, you can change the numbers. If you rather run 2 Windy and 3 of something else, or you know, 2 of one card and bump another one up to 2 as well, you can totally do that. Most of these effects are just to get other cards in the field, so definitely don't be afraid to switch it up to what your playstyle is and to what you think may work better for you. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. Please make sure you like the video. Comment down below if you have any suggestions on how I can improve this pure Shaddoll build. Again, I'm pretty much a budget player, so I don't have a lot of these, you know, crazy expensive cards or crazy engines. That's just not really what I have in my arsenal. But if you guys know any types of engines that may work well with this that isn't going to break the bank, comment down below so you know other people can find out about it too. And yeah, if you guys are interested in more quarantine Yu-Gi-Oh content, like some next duels or some League Evolution duels for instance, let us know. Don't forget to follow our social medias at the Big 5 Corp on Instagram and Twitter. It's your boy Dadum. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. Peace out.